youth hostel card, and spent a couple months going around Europe, and I was in Sweden and I broke my toe, and somebody sent me to a clinic or something, I don't know what it was, and not much you can do with a broken toe, but they did what they could, and went to pay the bill, and there was no bill, and I didn't understand it. And seriously, I'd never heard of such a thing. And so they explained, and all through Europe, I just kept running into little things like that, thinking, that's such a good idea. Why don't we do that? And that's where it started.
And then you're probably always confronted with these arguments, you know, well, of course it wouldn't work here because the population's too big. Well, of course it wouldn't work because of this, because of that, because of the other thing. I mean, you know, you constantly have that stuff thrown at you. Why a simple solution wouldn't work, right?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. And I grew tired of listening to that. You know, I mean, lots of things have to happen, obviously. An anti-apartheid movement starts. People start divesting from South Africa. There's a multi-decade campaign. And then, one day it tips. And one day, one man who's the president of South Africa has to wake up and say, fuck this shit. Let him out. And ultimately, sometimes it's something like that, or sometimes it's just a bunch of people just show up and start chiseling on the wall. And obviously on the other side of the wall, there was a collapse going on. But I think of, like I said in the movie, I mean, 41 states put it in their constitution or in their laws that it was illegal to marry people of the same gender. And that was just last year, 2 years ago. Massachusetts, I think, was the first. 10 years ago, they were the only ones that made it actually legal for a very long time. And then it tips. And it tips because people do things. And those who are so-called in charge get out of the way. They know when to get out of the way, usually. Sometimes they don't, and then a larger rebellion takes place. But I don't know, I am, as I said in the film, an optimist. I'm not a cynic. I don't think it's all fucked. I felt like that. I feel like that sometimes. It doesn't mean it's the truth. I mean, yesterday's shooting in Oregon. You know, what do we do about that?
Obama's response was great.
It's awesome. And, you know, he inches his way toward that place where he needs to go. And I hope he goes there. He's got a year left. Question?